A former presidential convoy driver testified before the TRC on drone accidents associated with ex-President Jammeh's Motorcade. The testimony revealed that all accidents around the presidential convoy were directly reported to the president. Our Makalo has more in this report.
Before the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission on Wednesday was a former presidential driver disclosing codes in the alleged brutal motorcade under ex-President Yahya Jammeh. Lamin Seydi Khan appeared in execution of the Commission's mandate to document evidence of unlawful attacks against road users by movement of the then president. The former state-housed driver who described the consequence of delegates in a presidential convoy referred to what he called the highway sweepers, commanders' vehicles, and those of the VIPs. As usual, the heavily militarized convoy under the former President Yahya Jammeh would have carriers of personal belongings of the president.
Commander katara moto men kono commander wala katara sweeper noma.
After the sweepers pass, the next vehicle following is usually the one that would have the commander in it.
Which commander are you referring to?
State Guard Commander.
The State Guard Commander.
Please go ahead.
After that, plain clothes la moto itara onoma.
After that, the vehicle of the plain clothes will follow.
After the VIP moto wate ex ya Jammeh la moto itara onom plain clothes noma.
And then the ex-president's vehicle will follow that of the plain clothes.
Back of a plain clothes le katara or back ala moto koma plain clothes le kona katara or kala moto la tema.
Behind his vehicle is also another vehicle containing plain clothes officers, so that his vehicle is in the middle.
So after that, ara reserve for ina bula or kono do reserve la or reserve sava. And then personal belongings.
After that, you had his reserves, either a vehicle or two vehicles that would carry his personal belongings.
The RRC witness, Seydi Khan, was recruited in the army in the 90s and as a convoy driver under the governance of Jammeh, who he said was in charge of the speed at which the motorcade was always to go. All this aside, presidential movements were punctuated with arbitrary use of the road in a warlike scenario, leading to the death of civilians and even members of the security forces.
I
was in there, but I know the boy. He lost control as they were coming from Kanilai. Their vehicle fell off, somersaulted, and he died instantly.
And who is this?
Fordel is a civilian driver. President Jammeh reserve one of the reserve motor.
He was Fode, a civilian driver who drove one of Jammeh's reserved vehicles.
And do you know what was the reason why he lost control of the vehicle and it somersaulted and he died?
Fo salon no le bam dalila mujumale ya sabu abe moto memburindi kawonya fo moto nata boy ate fe fata je
overspeeding moto overspeeding because no overspeeding wala kan moto de boy no la.
Sometimes convoy drivers were jailed for even slight mistakes, making sitters on the wheels very worried once they are at work with the president.
But they were not prepared to accept the position. I think they might have been afraid.
Can you tell us what they were afraid of?
Place like Palazzo is very important because any movement of the convoy, so you get contact. So nim delans get anything to them, then anything be about penalty talakan has.
Well, you know, during those days, when you were in that position, especially that position, which was very important, anything can happen to you. For instance, if you are called on a convoy and there's delay, they could you could have a serious reprimand for such.
Can you just speak directly, Mr. Seydi Khan, and just tell us what people were fearful of holding that particular position? What was so sensitive about it?
Laso ni memba ko yin noma akade dia munye dro ya fanye ya senende mune ya kendi mulu silata purka o palaso ta ya foko ko men ka kela mun ku fason la mune se keno ila pour je senende ni dro
dismissal sitara no jele.
You could be dismissed.
Then sorondo sitara no jele.
You could be imprisoned.
The president in the Gambia is constitutionally obliged to complete a nationwide tour, better known as Meet the People tour, at least once every year. The frequency of this movement across the country could increase, especially during election seasons, where a re-elected campaign becomes the season. For iAfrica TV News, Aoma Kalu.
And from the report there from the TRC hearing next week,